Hey, this is Matthew,
And it's Sandria.
and welcome back to Nerd News Today.
Yes, we are back with another Diamond Select Gallery Diorama PVC piece. As you can see, it is Weapon X.
Now, you are the resident X-Men expert here, if you will. See what I did there? A lot of X words there.
It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, so of course we got Weapon X, and I know you are a big fan of Wolverine, especially. Weapon X is really cool, really great history. I think Weapon X most known for the Barry Windsor Smith comic that he did in Marvel Presents that was all about this origin. Beautiful work, great little miniseries.
I'm pretty sure that's where they got this from.
Pretty much, that's where it came from, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a direct homage to it.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and just jump right in real quick, talk about the packaging, get that out of the way. It's your typical Diamond Select box. Your figure is always nice and safely protected in there.
And it shows off very nicely.
So you've got a window on the front, window on the left, window on the right.
And you got the sunroof on top.
Always good. So that Wolverine can get a tan, one of those good Canadian tans.
As if he doesn't spend enough time outside.
And the back of the box just has a nice photo of Wolverine and no bio.
No bio.
No bio whatsoever. It's weird how they make that decision of like when to put bios and when not to.
That's a good question. I wonder if anyone knows.
I don't know, because...
So, hey, if anyone out there knows, or if Zach happens to see this and wants to sound off down below, let us know.
Yeah, that'd be cool to know how they decide who gets bios, who doesn't, because I feel like everyone should have bios. That's just my personal opinion. I think every toy should. Especially when others do in this series. That's what confuses me.
But Weapon X is so well known that I wonder if it, they just figured maybe it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, possibly.
On the back, it says it's designed by Caesar. We've seen a lot of his work. You know how much we like him. You interviewed him recently, didn't you?
I did. I interviewed Caesar and Alterton during my Nerd News Today Toy Fair event. We had a nice panel with both those guys talking about designing and sculpting statues for Diamond Select. Really great stuff. We talked about some Marvel stuff, some DC stuff, some other things as well.
That's pretty cool.
So if you want to learn the ins and outs about how these things get made, that's a great one to check out.
Yeah, I mean, the guys are just so nice. So this was designed by Caesar, and while it wasn't sculpted by Alterton, that's okay because it was sculpted by yet another one of the excellent guys, Alejandro Pereira.
We've looked at his work before as well. We've, I think, liked it as well, too.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything that we haven't really liked.
Pretty much, yeah. Nothing that's really been, horrible, ew, disgusting.
Yeah, there's nothing that we've just, wanted to run away from. Yeah. But no, Alejandro has done very strong work.
So let's go ahead and get our Weapon X now out of the box and take a better look at him from all angles.
Yes!
So our Weapon X is now out of the packaging. Let's take a closer look at this guy. And this is a pretty impressive looking piece.
This is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. I absolutely love it. This is a spot-on recreation of that moment from the comics, where Wolverine is just burst out of the Weapon X facility, and he's just like, oh yeah, freedom, I'm gonna kill you all!
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
This is feral Wolverine, and I love it. I mean, I had the original, Weapon X figure, like the Toy Biz one.
Yeah, original Toy Biz one, yeah.
Yeah, and the vibe just kind of reminds me of this, sort of, because it was just the helmet. Oh,
it's a very iconic look.
Yeah,
it's a very, very iconic look here, and they've really nailed all the high points here. Well, let's talk first about the likeness, because that's where we always start. The thing is, most of that likeness is covered up by his helmet.
But the rest of the likeness is in the body and the pose. In this case, I think it's more about, not so much about the character itself, but the moment. Like, this is one of those, they're capturing the moment as opposed to the character. And I think this nails it.
I agree. I think my big thing, though, is just on the face itself. Is number one, I'm pretty sure that Zach Oat modeled for this piece.
Okay, yeah, that I could see.
Yeah, they must have used that as a reference for something for him.
Actually, now that I think about it, I don't recall the sideburns being quite that far down in his. Yeah, because that's
a Zach Oat thing.
Zach, do you need to tell us something?
I think Caesar was having some fun, maybe.
I hope so. I really do.
Is Zach getting royalties for this?
Yeah, right? Well, let us know. But anyway.
But I think the face is cool. Besides that, I think really this is probably going to be my only nitpick, I think, for the entire piece, is I wish the mouth was doing something. Because the mouth is just very neutral. But look at this pose. And you're saying this is such like a dramatic kind of pose, and it's all about the pose here. But the face doesn't match it. Because I'm like, why isn't he yelling or screaming? He's just kind of like,
Because there were moments where it's like that. Like I said, I think this comes from the comic, and I think one of the first moments was him, having that moment, and his mouth wasn't really fully engaged yet, because the rest of him his body was more engaged.
It doesn't need to be him roaring like that, but I mean, even when you just did that, your face still did something.
Yeah,
this face is doing nothing.
No, I get what you're saying. And that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's really the only downside about that. But there's really not much else to really talk about the face other than the helmet, which is really cool too. That part's great.
I love the helmet.
The helmet's the best. Just like the Toy Biz toy, the helmet was like the best part of it.
Yeah, totally.
The body though is really great though. The pose that you talk about is amazing. That's such like a perfect Wolverine pose. Great anatomy as well. Real good understanding of how the body's going to move and work in this position here, in this pose.
I absolutely love that. I mean, you can see like the way the chest is moving up, you know, and just like the abs, the way that they're contracting. I mean, it's like you don't always think about these things unless you're like us, who does, but it adds so much to it when they do that. I mean, in terms of the body, the one thing that I'm a little bit like, I don't know which way they could have gone, is part of me would have liked to have seen darker body hair, but at the same time, it's like, is that even really appropriate? Because, you know, it's a statue. It's just, I guess, like on the arms in particular, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, because that's so iconic to Wolverine.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me too, because like I think I agree with you, but I also know maybe why they didn't.
Yeah,
and that's because like I think I've reviewed other wrestling toys in the past, like Razor Ramon. I think some Seth Rollins have it, and when that hair gets really dark, it just flattens out. In this case, it's very translucent. It's transparent basically, so you can see onto the flesh.
Yeah,
I think that's important because otherwise you're gonna start flattening out the figure, and there's a lot of shadow as well in this piece here too. So, you know, maybe a notch or two darker, but I'm fine with it the way it is.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at it from a distance, you still see it, you still recognize it. Yeah. That's really how you're going to be looking at it.
No, I agree with you. It's just one of those things where I'm so used to it. But I have to say, I really love the fact that they put, they gave him back hair.
Yeah, let's talk about that back too. By the way, he's got the hairy back, which of course you have to have. He's got hairy legs as well. Oh my god,
his back is incredible.
Yeah, what I like about the back is the fact that it is arched and curved like a Liefeld drawing, but it's actually anatomically correct, unlike a Liefeld drawing.
I mean, this even comes with feet.
Yeah, he's got, look at that feet. Yeah, no
those
triangles.
Those feet look fantastic.
Feet, yeah. Those are really great feet.
Like, those toes are awesome. Like, really, his toes over here, they're digging into the ground. They're covered, it's all wet. It's like, you can see the little, where the toenail's supposed to be. And it looks so great. Like, yeah, these guys, they know the body. Even in where the claws are coming out in the hands, you can see there's that little spot where, I mean, granted, they have to probably put the claws in, but because of the way that it's sculpted, it looks like the way Wolverine's always drawn.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just really awesome. And real quick, since I mentioned the claws, believe it or not, the claws are not as super sharp as one would expect.
Huh.
The real kill spot on we always say that there's always, a spot on a diamond statue where, they could cause some serious damage. The real spot is in the back of his head on his hair.
Which is really bizarre to say, but it's true.
It is. That is the sharpest point.
So if you're looking for statues that kill people, this would be the worst one to ever get.
Pretty much.
You want statues that look really great, of course, to like display. This is fine. This is great, too.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you're trying to kill someone, if you're trying to murder somebody, we've got some other choices for you here. So make sure you check out our statue review playlist to find more statues you can murder a man with.
Now let's talk about something that's really cool, aside from the rest of the statue.
Yeah.
All these little nodes and the wires and stuff coming in and out of Wolverine. This is awesome. You have the things where you could see where he had to pull, plugs and needles out, but he's still attached a little bit. And what's beautiful about this is the way the skin ripples around it.
Yeah.
In the back in particular, there's this one plug. I don't know what else to call it. Where it's just the skin's just a little folded because you saw that something's going in and out. And one beautiful thing they did with the paint job is they put a little bit of red right around it. So that way it looks like, that's how it's supposed to look,
Yeah. I also like the various devices hanging off him, too. Again, those look really nice. You can sense a lot of weight, and they also help, using the word weight again, they kind of help ground this piece a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really important for something like this here. You can tell because they're pushing him down, and those lines are also very important to that, because this is a statue that's moving forward, so you do need to kind of ground it, and that kind of leads into the space, too, which is a very nice base. I don't know how many we've gotten before that have had snowy bases.
I don't think we've really had.
I don't think
we've had
any.
water.
Yeah, we had water, but never snow. I don't think so.
No, so this is really nice.
This is nice. Yeah, this is cool how they did this. I like how they did the texture on the rocks too. It's nice.
This is great texture.
It's a little spongy looking, but I mean, it's hard to really show snow, especially at this price point. Because if this was like a higher resin statue, you'd probably have like some kind of snow effect that's more shiny as well. You're not gonna get this at a $50 price point. So for $50, it's fine. This looks good.
No, this is fantastic.
So it's a really cool base. And, I've said this in some other videos recently. I'm going to say it again here. I want Diamond to start making diorama bases for figures.
Yes.
They need to start repurposing some of these or just make them available because no one's really doing them. And people are doing them, or they're fairly expensive, or they're paper in some cases too. But most of the plastic ones tend to be really expensive. I think Diamond's big enough that they could do some diorama bases for figures that would be at a pretty reasonable price. So Diamond, hear our pleas. Make it happen. But otherwise, it's a great looking piece. A lot of great energy in it. Good motion. Good design overall. it's a very iconic Wolverine statue for an iconic Wolverine moment.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best way to sum it up. I mean, I just really love it. I think the attention to detail that was put into this is just incredible. Okay, one small nitpick, and it's not even a real nitpick. It's just like I'm staring at it, and it's getting me a little it's just like his leg hair. They stopped. The leg hair doesn't go to the back. His calves, the back of his thigh, all of it, it's free of hair. And I'm just like, one, Wolverine is a hairy friggin' beast. We know this. And two, I know why they did it, but I wish they had gotten a little messier. It just is too clean.
I mean, you got to cut costs somewhere.
Yeah, but look, this little line went over. All they had to do was make it a little
Maybe
liner.
They shaved him for the nodes. I don't know. I mean,
but he doesn't have any nodes there. He has them in the hair.
Maybe there were that they took out and it hasn't grown back yet.
There's no.
You weren't there in the facility, were you? Were you there in Canada with him? In Toronto or Vancouver, wherever it was? I don't know. Were you up there getting some
It was definitely not
eating some poutine in the Weapon X facility?
If it wasn't for the fact that our borders were still closed, I'd say you should go to Canada and eat some, poutine.
I would like to.
Actually, yeah, so would I. So, yeah Canada, help us.
So I think the last note I'm going to say before we wrap this up, though, is does it look like Hugh Jackman a little bit? I think it does a little bit. That's fine, because Hugh Jackman kind of is Wolverine now.
Well, Hugh Jackman, with the exception of his height.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the only thing was his height.
And they've now retconned that anyway.
Exactly. He was Wolverine. He is Wolverine. I can't think of anyone else who could do Wolverine the way that, as good. He embodied Wolverine.
So I feel like as much as might be BWS inspired, I can also see some, like, Wolverine 2 in there as well, so...
You can see some Hugh in there?
Yeah, I can see some Jackman.
I guess I can see it, but I think that's also just because...
They're just so similar.
Yeah, they're just...
they are one and the same.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah, so that is our look at the Weapon X PVC figure diorama piece from Diamond Select. We love it. Yeah, there's so many Weapon X pieces out there, but they are really expensive. They're talking usually resin pieces.
Yeah.
So they can get upwards of $150, $250. I think I've seen some nice big ones go for. If you want an affordable piece that's going to fit on your shelf nicely, not take up a ton of space, this is the one. It's just really beautiful, consumer friendly.
Oh, God. And it's just... So much thought went into this.
Yes.
I mean, it's just... I mean, we even said it. Just the casual placement of certain stuff.
Yeah, how about that?
But no, this is just a beautiful piece.
Yeah, so it's totally worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to pick up this Weapon X for yourself, use our Amazon affiliate links in the description below. You can order directly from Amazon using that link, and it costs you guys nothing extra to do so, and helps out this channel.
Help us, please, so we can bring some more awesome things to you.
So until next time, I'm Matthew.
I'm Andrea.
And we'll see you guys here on Nerd News Day for more statue reviews, figure reviews, and everything else that we do here. So,
snicked!
Yeah, sure, why not? Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, I think I Wakanda'd forever by accident. But that is still Wolverine. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. You don't have to keep this part in the outro.
Three amigos.
No.
Should I cut this part?
Yes.
We'll
yes.
see. We'll see
We're not keeping this part.
We'll see what I do.